Good morning, SVN, and all of our invited guests. Welcome to SVN Live, our weekly property broadcast for February 26, 2018. February was a short month and seemed to go very, very fast. Welcome to the beginning of March. We're looking forward to our presentations this morning. To begin, however, we always want to remind you of some economic talking points that you might find interesting and might want to share with your clients this week and beyond. I guess the operating word for the economic and unemployment numbers is robust. Robust hiring resumes as unemployment stays low at 4.1. Obviously, it had a little slower December, but there's been about 200,000 net new jobs in January, and so that rate stayed fairly flat. Again, using their word, the robust state of hiring and low unemployment's causing significant wage growth, obviously benefiting a lot of Americans, especially those on salaries. However, we've got to kind of keep an eye on that. It may fuel fears of rising inflation as a result of that. More money has a tendency to also get spent. So keep an eye on that. We also have our initial read for the fourth quarter GDP. It shows significant growth, but still below that 3% magic range. What's kind of interesting, as you know, this will be revised probably 3 or 4 more times, but it's estimated that the U.S. economy grew 2.6% in the fourth quarter and a total of 2.3% for all of 2017. Again, that'll probably get revised. Speculation exists that the business environment was reduced in the fourth quarter. Many CEOs are probably sitting on the sidelines a little, still trying to figure out what the tax bill means to them and their organization and their balance sheets. As a result, initial indications are for increased business investment throughout 2018. Good news for all of us. All right, we want to talk about some of our closed transactions. This isn't all of them, but a few that we want to highlight for sure this morning. We want to congratulate Scott Maisel, one of our managing directors out of Chicago, and his partner Drew Dillon. They just closed this deal, 1039 West Lake Street. Look at the price per foot on this little bricker, $404 a foot for 4,200 square feet. It's only a block from Google and blocked from the CTA station on Morgan. That's as good as it gets if you're in Chicago. My guess is that Scott took his team for a celebration cigar at the location. Congratulations. We want to also congratulate Troy Meyer and Kevin Matthews, our 2 managing directors out of Denver, Colorado. They've been very active in the Colorado Springs market and just closed this value-added opportunity at $1.9 million. Only $161 a foot at a 7 cap. 75% occupied at the time, so it's got some great upside, as you can see from the for lease sign on the right side of that picture. The best location is available within the center. So congratulations. I'm sure the buyer is going to enjoy that deal. David Cook, one of our many SIORs, is at it again. As you know, David's been spending a lot of time on single tenant net leased as well as office buildings, another product in the Dallas market. This is Longview, Texas. This was a single tenant tractor supply company, closed at $2.9 million. They did exercise their first 5-year option and sold almost at list price. Congratulations, David. This is a deal that really kind of points to the SVN difference and the collaboration, cooperation that we feel all over the country with outside brokers and inside brokers. Our advisors internally at SVN look for opportunity to work with people in different markets that their particular clients are seeking. Lorraine Rahm and I met in 1998 in Philadelphia, and she is one of the premier advisors for SVN in that market. She works with a lot of institutional players. She represents U-Haul in trying to find a new location for them. And what happens, of course, Ali Mushtaq and TC Chen had just the right opportunity for her. This was on a Monday SVN Live call. And as a result, I U-Haul is added to their 50 million square feet that they operate. And this deal closed at $6.5 million on February 20th. So a very recent transaction and a good one. Congratulations, TC and Ollie, for having the right product, Lorraine for finding the right client. I went to grade school with the Schoen family that started U-Haul, so this one's near and dear to my heart on many levels. Congratulations, team. All right, we've got featured inventory to talk about today, and as you know, 100% of the time, 50% of the commission is available to you when you close a transaction with us. And we happen to have $1,182,000 to share with you. We look forward to doing that. Nearly $48 million of inventory. We're going to bring up the listing advisors to talk about it. First up is Ralph Malmros. He's got an outstanding opportunity in Florida for you, priced at $1,060,000.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, this is a nice building on a busy US 1 highway with about 30,000 cars going by every day. It is a concrete block building, 17,000 square feet, has 2 dock doors and 1 ramp. Currently used as a marine engine manufacturing facility. So it comes with hoist and machine shop equipment and exhaust rooms and things that you normally don't see in these kind of buildings. And however, it is a multi-use building. It can be used for regular warehousing and distribution, or it can even be an e-commerce fulfillment center, a smaller one, which we're always looking for in this area. So overall, a good building, and we hope there's somebody out there that wants to move their business to Florida. So appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, Ralph, thank you. I'm pretty sure with the way the weather's been in Chicago and the Northeast, we got lots of people that want to do that. Thanks again for that. Taylor Gibbons has 3 opportunities for you this morning, and one thing most of our clients like is out parcels to major malls. He happens to have 3 of them for you. Taylor?
Well, thanks, John. I do have 3 of them, and I'll give you a little update on what's really important about all of these sites as a whole really quick, and then I'll go through each one individually. As it is now, there's one big parcel at each location. It's Kennewick, Washington, Boise, Idaho, and Lynnwood, Washington. The seller has identified where they think a hotel makes the most sense for each site. A hotel is the use that they would like to see, although they won't rule out a multifamily or mixed use if it makes sense and can work on the available land. The exact location of pad site needs to be worked out through the short plat process, in which the seller will have of course, have to approve during feasibility. But they will work with the buyer in doing that and getting this thing done. But a reasonable timeline and a proven developer is what we're looking for when deciding who to partner with on these sites. Buyer, of course, will have to bring utilities to the site, but they're likely close. Seller would prefer to work with a developer that's also an operator if possible, and any past relationships with the mall owners would be a plus, most likely. With an offer, please attach a basic preliminary and proposed site layout. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, just something that kind of to help the seller see your vision. These sites will likely get multiple offers, so if you have an interested client, I recommend getting offers in very soon. And as always, feel free to reach out for more texture on these particular opportunities. First one here that you're looking at is in Kennewick, Washington. Kennewick is in the heart of Washington wine country. Central Washington is what people would refer to it as. People who live there have 27 parks to enjoy, 4 fantastic golf courses, and more than 160 wineries within 50-mile radius. It is the largest of what's referred to as the Tri-Cities, which includes Pasco, Richland, and Kennewick. Just a very booming area in the state of Washington, with more than 300 days of sunshine, and its location along the Columbia River provides a variety of recreational pursuits, including world-class fishing, birding, bike trails, and parks. I think birding is where you just go look at birds, not sure. So maybe we can switch to the next slide.
All right, Taylor, we're with you.
All right. Next slide is in Boise, I believe. Is that the one we have up? Yep, Boise. And this is at the Boise Town Square Mall, across the freeway from the Boise Aquarium and the Boise Police Department. Boise is known for the rich volcanic soil and being next to the Snake River. It also has a mild four-season climate with award-winning wineries also. And in just a couple minutes, you can float the river, speedboat, hike, bike, do all kinds of stuff. Go to a Boise State Broncos football game where they have the blue turf. They also have minor league baseball, ice hockey, and basketball teams. This location is very visible from the freeway. Fantastic location. And then let's switch to the last one, Lynnwood.
There you go.
Very good. Lynnwood, Washington is located 13 miles north of the Space Needle in downtown Seattle, Washington. This is a very significant site. It's 10 miles north of the University of Washington. This is at the Alderwood Mall. It has unparalleled surrounding retail, too much to mention. This site already has multiple offers. It's going to go very quickly. If you're interested, I would recommend that you put an offer in with the additional information I already talked about. Reach out to me with questions. We will likely be going back to the best potential offers and asking for the highest and best within a couple of days. So if you are interested in this, get with me as soon as possible or get an offer in. Again, if you have any questions, need any more texture, feel free to reach out.
All right, Taylor, thank you very much. And it's always good to have a young advisor that has multiple licenses. He's licensed in Washington and Idaho, which is important if you're going to do business in Idaho. Make sure you have a license. Taylor, congratulations. Nice job on those. Let's go to Jason LaMontagne. He and Frank Jermusik are at it. This time you can't put Adirondack chairs and sit outside and cast the fishing line into the lake, but they've got an industrial opportunity that if you're looking for that, this is the one.
Good morning to all. I'm happy to present 545 Shoreview Park Road in Shoreview, Minnesota. This is less than 11 miles from downtown Minneapolis and 9 miles from downtown St. Paul. The building is currently home to a metal fabricator specializing in heavy sheet and light plate fabrication for all industries. We have approximately 12,000 square feet of the facility offers 21-foot clear heights. This is a rare space inside the metro loop of the Twin Cities, and it sits right on Interstate 694, offering high visibility with 95,000 vehicles per day driving by. The building is ideal for an owner-user, but the location and layout offers the opportunity for multiple uses. The area is zoned industrial. The location offers quick access to Interstate 694, and Interstate 694 provides convenient access to a number of other interstates and highways. A number of major employers like Land O'Lakes and Deluxe Corporation are close by. In the photo, you can see one of the two cranes that run on a 40-foot by 150-foot crane rail. Building is concrete, and there are 3 drive-in doors. There's approximately 3,000 square feet of office space, offering unique architecture with a fiberglass dome roof and a moonroof center. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Great industrial real estate. Let's go to Ali Mushtak. He's got an opportunity for you in Orlando when he's not selling flea markets to turn them into U-Hauls. This is some of where he spends his time.
Good morning, John. Good morning, everyone at SVN and members. So here is a piece of land. It's ideally set for redevelopment. It's 2.19 acres. The good thing about this land, it has ingress and egress from both sides of the road. There's the new road, South Goldenrod, and the old Old Goldenrod Road. Both offer access to the nearby Narcoossee Road, which is the entrance into Lake Nona, which is one of the highest and newest developments in the hottest area of Orlando. It's also close to the airport. Airport is a 5-minute drive. Lake Nona is 7 to 10 minutes, depending on traffic, of course. Ideally, with this size of land, there has been some storage development, John. So the storage is in play on this side as well, and would support climate control storage on a vertical 4-story, 5-story building. So yes, it would be ideally for it. There are, from my understanding, 1 or 2 other storage developments nearby in the vicinity. So it'd be a good opportunity for other developers and storage companies to come in and seek out this land. The tenants are on month-to-month basis, so there will be no issues. The seller will allow a small feasibility time. Ideally, we want to see end users on the site. It can also, because it's zoned commercial, ideally it could be for restaurants, owner user, highest and best, perhaps retail, depending on what they're looking for, what they're doing. The site would offer visibility as well. There is an adjacent parcel, which is the car wash. It's Red's Car Wash. And north of that parcel, the same seller, it is on my website and on SVN website. It is a 1 acre site at 4500 South Goldenrod Road. Again, it offers access and strongest visibility on the north side of the two roads. It's surrounded by a DOT pond. It's heavily treed at this time. 1 acre net usable would definitely allow another QSR, retail user, restaurant, and so forth. It just depends on what people are looking for. So if you have any further questions, feel free to reach me. I can send you both sides in one email together, and you have my contact information. And thank you, John.
Holly, thank you so much for great flexibility and opportunity. Let's go to Neil Johnson. He's back here in Illinois. Sugar Grove has an industrial property he'd like to talk to you about, priced at $3,475,000.
Good morning, John. This is actually a represent of a single-tenant industrial building in Sugar Grove. It's located about 48 miles west of downtown Chicago. As an investment property, 84 North Dugan has several notable strengths, including high-quality established credit tenant. It is an aeronautics contractor with customers around the world and backed by a large international parent company. Durable masonry construction, very clean, strategic suburban location with limited competition in the immediate area, convenient access to several highways plus the nearby Aurora Airport, and a competitive asking rate based on in-place income. The biggest challenge we have is there's just over 2.25 years remaining on the current lease. However, in previous discussions, the tenant has expressed a willingness to extend out to 5 years. As a government contractor, they live somewhat from budget to budget, so they're not a 10-year lease candidate. Although it does seem like these are promising days for people making high-tech parts for military jets. The most recent lease extension was for 4 years. This would make, I think, a viable 1031 exchange for the right investor. We're offering a full 3% co-op commission, and I just noticed that the buy-side figure on the slide reflects 6%. I apologize for that mistake. That's mine. Look forward to your calls. Thank you very much.
All right, Neil, thank you very much. And you're right, those avionics and defense contractors don't move around very much. Vic Vonovich always has something we should be paying attention to, and I think he's got a single tenant for us this morning that fits into that category, priced at $4,495,000. Good morning, Vic.
Good morning, John and SVNers and guests. I am proud to present a high per cap rate single tenant, triple net except for roof and structure retail property. This asset comes with a corporately guaranteed lease by the largest for-profit sales store chain in the country, consisting of 325 stores and over 20,000 employees. This is not a franchised retail operation, but a company-owned and operated store. This retail business is not going to be cannibalized by e-commerce, and it will likely do even better when the economy heads downward, and we all know it's going to go down eventually. Since this property sits among 4 power centers totaling 1.5 million square feet within 1/4 mile and includes a very conceivable retail operation, this location will always be in demand. The magic of this location for savers is that it sits on the border of 2 Western Cleveland suburban markets, middle class on one side and upper class on the other. The donations are just as important as sales in this store ends up with the same excellent quality merchandise from the upper class suburb. Sales come from the middle class areas. Just recently, the next door neighbor, Aldi's, spent over $2 million on an expansion and retrofit of their store that opened several years ago. Within the last year and within 1/10 of a mile, 2 national chain restaurants built and opened brand new locations with a combined investment of over $5 million. Those are strong indicators of the current and future vibrancy of this market. The property shares an entrance to a regional transit bus terminal, guaranteeing that transit riders will have access to this store, and the site is walkable to neighboring neighborhoods. It's on a very busy street and has over 19,000 cars per day driving by. Some facts about thrift stores. Over 50% of the population shops at thrift stores. Over the past 3 years, there's been a significant increase in the number of shoppers who will shop at a thrift store. The average item sells for $4.50, and 90% of all items sell for under $10. The profit margins are much higher as raw materials associated with producing new clothing, even in China, can't be cheaper than donated merchandise. What struck me when I first walked into the store is it felt like a TJ Maxx store with clean and spacious changing rooms, restrooms, wide aisles, clothes, and other items organized on racks with styles marked. With 7 years left on a 10-year lease and 2 5-year options with increases, this property will make a good longer-term investment with increased cash flow coming in later years. We all know why dollar stores sell at low cap rates. Thrift stores, especially large, well-run stores, are even a better place for the value-oriented shopper and a safe place for an investor to place their bets, especially in this volatile retail market. I have plenty of information about this asset and its tenant and look forward to your inquiries. Thank you very much.
All right, Vic, thank you. Let's go to New York. Joe and Joseph Rowley have an outstanding opportunity for you, priced at $10.5 million this morning.
Good morning, John, SVN team, and guests. This beautiful building was a build-to-suit for the Victor campus of the Finger Lakes Community College, a state University of New York institution known as SUNY. The SUNY schools are highly regarded for their quality of education and affordability, especially for New York residents. There are over 12 years remaining in the initial 20-year term, with 2 options to extend for 20 years each. There are annual rent increases that are currently almost 3% to continue for the balance of the 20 years. The building can be expanded by 21,000 feet. It's all set up. The parking lots are already in for the full expansion. The tenant is responsible for all occupancy costs, making it effectively an absolute net lease that does come with management responsibilities. We have included a 5% management fee in the pro forma, and we can provide those services internally here in our Rochester office. There's a 2% co-broker fee being offered. Please call or email for more specifics. Let's make a deal. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Well, if you're not paying attention to the SFR and BFR portfolios in America, you might want to start doing it. Michael Finch is going to talk to us this morning about the new listing he has with Jeff Klein. This one's for $20,768,000 and with over $400,000 in buy-side fee.
Hey, thank you, John, Sarah team. This is the Courtyards at Madison Ranch. It's actually not a new listing. We're just revisiting it here. But the Courtyards at Madison Ranch is located in a beautifully designed and gated community in the Southwest Phoenix submarket, only about 5 miles from downtown Phoenix and minutes away from the largest municipal park in the country, South Mountain Park. Also a short drive to the Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport. The community here is perfect for families that are looking for well-designed homes with expansive greenbelt areas, pedestrian-friendly walkways, picnic areas, playgrounds, gated community pool, and a pretty large soccer field right in the heart of the community for all the kids to practice and play on. Community's HOA maintains the front yard landscaping and streets. We have about, it originally started with 82 homes. He has been selling these to the retail end consumer, so we're down to about 74 right now. There are 6 or 7 existing homes today that can be purchased immediately, and then we would tranche it out over the course of this year during his build out. This build for rent subdivision comes with 3 and 4 bed homes, 2.5 baths, averaging about 2,125 square feet. All come with 2-car garages. The rental rates are between $1,450 and $1,700 per month. Year 1 stabilized cap is aggressive at 5.69, and the leverage cash on cash here is 10% and IRR of 27.41% for stabilized year 1 income. As I said, I think we're a little aggressive on the cap. I've been trying to work on the seller to get the price down a little bit. He doesn't want to budge from the ask price, but I can tell you all that there's more motivation here than this price is indicating. So if you've got any investors that like this space or want to enter this space, this is a great product, very easy to rent in the submarket, and I think we can move the dial here on pricing as long as we get an LOI to start negotiating. So let me know if you have any questions, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
All right, Michael, thank you very much. As always, we have events and webinars at SVN for our advisors throughout the country. Later on today, we've got our office council chair call, 11 on the West Coast, 2 on the East Coast. Al Lindemann and Jeff Albee will be hosting that. And then dial in Wednesday for our best practices with Solomon. This is going to be a really good one. In fact, we're going to have it up in the living room in Chicago for our entire team. 8:30 on the West Coast, 11:30 on the East Coast. A great way to kick off the year. And then join me on Saturday for our Saturday call, 8:30 on the West Coast, 11:30 on the East Coast. We're going to talk a little about the population puzzle and a few other things that are current topics. And of course, anything that you want to discuss. We look forward to you joining us on Saturday. Guess what's happening next week? The 2018 SVN Annual Conference kicks off in New Mexico. Can you believe it? It is upon us. The land of enchantment has its arms open to us. The Tamaya Resort, Hyatt Regency, is ready, willing, and able. The bars are open, the meeting rooms are open, the ballroom is open, and the agenda is absolutely slam-packed. Please go online, make sure that you're registered, that you're going to join us. Registration closes tomorrow, but we really look forward to seeing everybody in New Mexico. All right, we want to thank you this morning for joining us at SVN Live. As you know, everything that we do at SVN is at www.svn.com. And 100% of the time, 50% of the commission is available to you when you close a transaction with us. And we look forward to you doing just that. See you in New Mexico.